Good morning, Year 5s, and today we're going to be continuing on with our Earth, Place and Space unit. Now, if we remember back to last lesson, we learnt about the different moon phases. So what can you guys tell me about what you remember about last lesson? Jess? Yeah, we learned that the sun reflects onto the moon, which creates the shadows and the different moon phases we see mostly at night in our sky. Yeah? So today we're going to be moving on to how the Earth, Sun and Moon orbits. So we'll be identifying and demonstrating how the Earth, Sun and Moon orbits. We will be working collaboratively with our peers using our scientific language we have developed over this unit in our previous lessons. And we will be doing this because it is important to know about our planets in our solar system and how they orbit, how they move, all of that. So before we begin, what can you tell me about what does orbit mean? Have a think to yourself, what do you think orbit means? Meg? Yeah, it's something moving around. It's like an object moving around. So for example, I have my hand in this pen, and this pen is orbiting around my hand. Correct. So, I'm going to show you this sheet of paper. You guys have seen this in previous lessons, but we're going to go back to it. So this is our claims sheet. Our claim sheet. So there are 3 claims on it. I'll read them out for you. So claim 1, the moon and the sun both circle around the Earth. The moon circles the Earth while the sun circles both. And the moon circles the Earth while the Earth circles the sun. So have a little think and think which of these claims, claim 1, 2 or 3, do you think is correct about our Earth, Sun and Moon orbit? So have a think. So as you can see around the room, there are 3 signs. There's claim 1, claim 2, and claim 3. So when I tell you, you are going to hop up from your seats and move to claim 1, 2 or 3, whichever one you think is correct. Okay, hop up, go to the claims you believe. Okay, so I see that most of you are either at claim 1 or claim 3. So claim 1, what was claim 1 again? The moon and the sun both circle around the Earth. So people in claim 1, what makes you think that is the correct one? Okay, so you think that the Earth is in the middle, and when it's day, say here, and it's night on the other side, the moon will be there and the sun will be here, and when the Earth and the moon orbits, then it will be sun on day and the other side and nighttime here. Okay, and claim 3. You think the moon circles the Earth while the Earth circles the sun. What makes you think that? Oh, relating it back to our last lesson about the moon phases and how the sun reflects on the moon. Well done. Okay, coming back, but staying in your 2 groups. Sitting down. We will be creating this model now. As you can see, it has the sun, earth and the moon. So in your groups you'll be creating this and role-playing using this and demonstrating using this the claims that you believe are correct. So as you can see, it can easily be moved around, so you can easily experiment, investigate which ones you believe are correct. And after we have done this, so I'll give you 5 minutes to colour it in, put it together. And then in your groups, you'll be discussing which one you think are correct. And then we'll come back as a class and we'll demonstrate each of these claims and figure out which one is actually the correct one. So go off with your groups. Now, in your groups, discussing and demonstrating which you think is correct. Okay guys, come on back down. So we'll start with claim 1. So claim 1 was The moon and the sun both circle around the earth. So let's just do that. The moon and the sun circle around the earth. Let's just put it like that and like this. So this is what your guys' looks like. There we are. There. So the moon and the sun circles around the earth. So if we did that, moving this, what do you see about the problem here? Does anyone know what they think a problem might be about this one? Emily? Yeah, it's hard. With the sun being on the other side of the earth, you don't see the different moon phases, because we learnt in last lesson that the sun reflects onto the moon, creating the moon phases. Because remember, the sun is our main light source. So if the sun isn't near the moon, we can't see the moon. So what about if we go to claim 3? So let's just quickly put that together. Those of you who have done claim 1, follow with me with changing it around again, because it might be easier if you can follow along with me. So let's move this around. Okay, so claim 3 is the moon circles the earth while the earth circles the sun. So let's do that. So here it is, the sun is in the middle, the earth circles the sun while the moon circles the earth. But remember, we don't use circle, we use orbit. So the earth orbits the sun as the moon orbits the moon. Here, I'll just show you that, and we'll move that around. So by doing that, as you can see, the sun is able to reflect onto the moon, which will create our moon phases. And yeah, so now let's think back to last time we were in a car with our parents. And does anyone know what a roundabout is? Yeah, we all know what a roundabout is. So here's one of our roundabouts. So when we're in the car and we're going around a roundabout, so do you think that the roundabout is moving, or we're the ones moving around? Yeah, we're the ones moving around. Now what about us driving past a tree? So when we're driving past a tree, do you think it's the tree that's moving, or we're the ones who are in the car moving past the tree? Yeah. And one last thing before we conclude is, so remember back to lunchtime before our lesson, and you were out in the yard playing, and you look up and you see the sun, and then you start running. Does the sun move, or are we the ones moving? We're the ones moving. So by all that, that shows that the sun stays still, and we're us on Earth. Earth is the one orbiting the sun, and because we know that from last lesson that the sun reflects the moon, which shows our moon phases, and the sun is our main light source, so that means the sun is the one that lights up our moon, we know that the moon orbits around the Earth.